Hey, Warpugs. So today we're going to be checking out something from the Stupendium, and this was requested during the Shenanigans stream by Hazard. Now, here's the thing. The Stupendium is awesome. First and foremost, the production quality is just ridiculous. And second, on top of that, on top of everything, the music they produce is, like, this is a thing that kind of drives me nuts about some things, especially like Five Nights at Freddy's. And it's really a good demonstration of what happens when a company just allows a fan base to be its own PR department, which I don't understand why some companies don't just sit there and swallow. I don't even know if it would be called pride, because I'd be intensely proud if somebody did something like that for me. But yeah, I don't understand why people don't allow fans to just run with stuff. But the companies that do get some absolutely quality gems, and Stupendium is just one of those examples. Now, seeing as we have this requested by an absolute deranged fanatic about Five Nights at Freddy's, I thought we'd drag him in here with us, and Hazard's here. Say hello, Hazard.
Hello, it is your local Zinchine Changeling here.
But I brought him in here to explain the video, explain some of the lore. He asked if he could jump in. I said, sure, why not? So yeah, take it away, Hazard.
Okay, so just a little bit of lore on this video. This is a remix that Stupendium did, because if you look in the description, he says in the description that in the original song, he had somebody, like one of the animators in the community, in the FNAF community, sent him a animation, like a very short animation that included part of his song. Mm-hmm. And he liked the animation so much that I think he hired the animator and had him do a whole song and remix the entire song to fit the animation.
Yeah, so this is,
and that's what this is.
So this is a remix, and this is called the Ruin Mix, and this is a piece of the action. So we're gonna jump right in, and we're gonna let's just go. Okay, let's just go. Warpugs, yep. Check the links in the description below for Stupendium. You will not be disappointed. You will absolutely not be disappointed in this. He has done stuff so far, and at this point, I think he's getting contacted by companies. I know he worked with Frostpunk, which turned out exceedingly well, in my opinion. He worked with the company behind Frostpunk. He of course worked with Five Nights at Freddy's, and he works with a couple of other companies. And at this point, I mean, he is a mobile PR workshop for these places, and it is so cool. Especially when you see him doing something for like a franchise that, I would love to see him do something for GW, although I'm pretty sure GW would immediately shriek, their hair would turn white, and they start screaming heresy while throwing lawyers at him. I would not want to see that, but let's get into it.
Yep, one more thing. Stupendium essentially has an OC in his FNAF videos, because like he usually comes up with like a character to be in the universe. And here he has an animatronic called Cosmo, which is like a black and orange bird that kind of matches color scheme. So if you see plushies or mascots of that, you'll know who that's Stupendium himself.
Awesome. Let's get into it.
So you tripped after dark in the park, and your tasked with surviving the night. So your ma and your pa have departed the party and left you to fight. So hang tight to the chick, get your one and your toy laser guns at your fast. Walk the fun, cause it's hide and seek hunted by musical monsters. Ain't that what you wanted? You came for some games and a bite. The doors have all closed, but the stage has been set. So on with the show, no escaping it yet. The night is still has just begun. You've been played like a grave of arcade cabinet with your gate stormed by gators and wolves at the door. When the power is down, you can't bear anymore.
Oh, no.
Yep, that's important. Tika, stop eating.
Really? He wordplayed that?
That's the whole gimmick of the song.
He wordplayed that. Oh, come on,
Yeah.
man. The visuals are ridiculous so far.
This is all the animated.
So come pick your destiny up of the menu. Wait till the sun comes up. Or be
Those things are
to
cute.
rest in your favorite venue. Arcade to arcade, crust to crust. In this amusement park, you are the superstar. We know that you'll go far, but you must choose your path. Those neon tubes cast shadows on a truth so dark. It's up to you to battle to his putrid heart. So savor the taste of your last pepperoni. Party pass to a backstage tour. 'Cause you're taking the stage for one night only. Well done, chorus, be your encore. Perhaps it's your birthday or your graduation. We're always the first place for a celebration. Now maybe you've heard say of some violations, but it's
Some violations.
regulations. The go-kart
Not since Thursday.
it's been cleaned, and Garber is ready to tear up the scene. Roxy's got the rock that's just got to be seen. 'Cause as soon as she gets cleaned out, they can't see the cry of the fans as we drag up the band. Now the time is at hand for the tightest of jams. 'Cause it's tiny and cramped where you're hiding, but Danny won't find you in cramped inside a leading band. Stoned by gators and wolves at the door. When the power is down, you can't bear anymore. When the sun's gone away, but the moon's come to play on the punishing games at the break of the dawn. All the fun that's in store. Come get a piece of the action. You want a piece of the action?
Okay,
Yeah.
I gotta pause. I don't normally like to pause, like, especially music videos. I really don't like to pause music videos. I hate it. I don't like it when I see
Yeah.
people do it. But I just have to at this point because the lyrics are so like the Stupendium does such an amazing job when he puts together a song. And literally everything has underlying threat underneath it, but he's just talking about like this. It would be something if it's one of those if you know kind of situations.
Yeah. It's would you like me to kind of explain what's going on in the animation a bit?
Well, let me get to the end of it first. But like I just had to point that out because the thing that like I'm really appreciative of this because if you were just listening to this, you didn't know a thing about Five Nights at Freddy's. You weren't watching the animation. You're like, who paid this guy to make a banger about a pizza parlor?
Yeah.
Who made him to put out a banger about Chuck E. Cheese? But if you know what happens here, it takes on a whole different meaning.
There's one thing I love about Five Nights at Freddy's is that despite it being aimed as a horror kind of thing, even though it's kind of like horror for kids, it does a significantly better job at being entertainment than actual animatronics.
Yeah. All right. Here we go.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that.
Oh, Cindy Cadet, why? Yeah.
See, that was the first one that really had that.
And I think it was in the original, when it wasn't ruined, they thought it was going to be like William Afton coming back. Oh, let's see the credits.
Thanks for watching. A huge thanks to my patrons and an even huge
I'm gonna mute that.
Oh yeah, he's got a funny joke at the end you might like.
Okay.
out and after they've been willing to do the rest of the song. And I figured what better way to show it off than with a spooky new remix inspired by the Security Breach Ruin DLC. If you enjoyed the song, be sure to check out the original version if you haven't before, or my playlist of other songs. To like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, and check the merch store for the Pizza the Action, Cosmo the Parrot plush, and all new Shattered Cosmo
the Parrot
TN poster. I have a habit of ending these videos on a silly joke or bad pun, but when it came to this song, I guess I just had to ruin it.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, go on. Tell me about what happened with the animation here.
So,
like,
to put it simply, this animation kind of summarizes the Ruin plot.
Oh, okay.
And is that so? Ruin was a DLC that, since a Security Breach, the one with the glam rocks and all that, it released in such a bad state that they, like, with different kind of plot holes, and it felt like an unfinished game, kind of like what normal AAA games were like today, nowadays. And so the Steel Wool Studios, the people that made the game, decided to make a free DLC called Ruin, which is essentially the same location, the Pizzaplex, in a ruined state, and you see all of these animatronics that were nice and shiny in the game now ruined. Oh. And what was considered to be the canon ending in Security Breach was the one where it was like you find Burn Trap, which is kind of like essentially, yet again we get William Afton, and it was kind of getting on at that time. Ruin decided to change that up and give us the Mimic, which is that endoskeleton you've been seeing so frequently, and it's essentially just essentially what you think of as AI if it wanted to mimic a killer.
Oh, okay. Well, that's not good.
Yep, and it was kind of around the plot of Cassie, who was going through this place to find her friend Gregory, who was the player character in Security Breach, and turns out her favorite character is Roxy. She had to put Roxy down due to some reason in the game. That's kind of a spoiler, but yeah. But hell, that game has been out for over a year, so.
Well, and the one thing I liked about this so much, was up until the actual, like, I'd almost call it a Vincent, huh?
The chorus?
No, up until like the Vince, okay, so you've heard of Thriller, right?
Yep.
All right, so at some point he brought his voice down, did kind of a Vincent Price and Thriller deal, which I can appreciate as, you know, I can vastly appreciate it. And up until that point, the lyrics have been largely ambiguous as far as what actually happens at Freddy Fazbear's. But yeah, once that kicked in.
Yes, Stupendium likes to try and match the vibe of the games he's singing about. And Security Breach at the time was essentially like a 80s, like neon lights, those weird pattern carpets and all that kind of stuff. It was that weird 80s kind of arcade / pizzeria feel you'd get from a Chuck E. Cheese. And so he was trying to match that by giving it like a Thriller kind of 80s, 90s kind of aesthetic with the music.
Well, it worked.
And so, like the animator came up, showed him that he liked it. But you know what? I'm gonna make a remix of the original song, and then now we have the ruined version, which is just called the Ruined Remix.
Well, I tell you this, it works. It works so well. Yep. Everything about this for me, And see, this is the thing. This is the thing that I have just really come to enjoy about, even though I played about 2 hours of Five Nights at Freddy's, I don't want to play anymore. I don't want to play anymore. I don't need to. The whole
What? It's only 12 more games.
stop it. The whole aesthetic of it works so well in terms of a horror setting. It just works. It works very, very well. But what I have just found to be amazing is the amount of fan-made content that has come out of this. That,
Yeah.
I mean, you couldn't ask when you need PR. The best PR is fan-made because it's always going to be a passion project. It's always going to be a passion project.
Yeah, I think when Scott actually hit the gold with his first game, he saw how much people were actually really liking his first game.
Mm-hmm.
Due to him being a game developer, like a hobby game developer for so long, he could make games within weeks. Like, he could make an entire game within weeks. The second game came out a month after the first game. And I think the way he managed to successfully grow Five Nights at Freddy's was because he knew how to hype the fandom up. Like, you saw the amount of... You even without knowing much about FNAF, you could feel the hype coming, like, just through cultural osmosis, like with the 10th anniversary, just through me and the entire server.
Yeah, I mean, what it boils down to is we've seen so much good so much good stuff. JT Music, other singers, other vocalists, stuff like that, making songs, making videos about Five Nights at Freddy's. And some of them, like, I haven't seen a bad one yet. That's the thing. I mean, you guys showed me the first one, I think last week during Shenanigans.
Yep.
And every single one of them, and this is just the latest in a long list of amazing stuff. And the Stupendium, of course, did this ridiculous, like, it's ridiculous, man. And I just gotta say, I hope that, you know, a company that I'm not gonna name will wise up to the fact that this kind of stuff can have a dramatic public relations impact and market you better than anything that you could possibly want to market yourself. Because everybody. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I think I like Five Nights at Freddy's because, in terms of its community, it strikes like a balance between like completely company owned and completely community owned. Kind of like the difference between Warhammer and SCP, because those are on both extremes. You have a company that owns one, and then you have the community that owns one. This one is owned by a single person, and yet the community is what's feeding itself with its own content.
Yeah, like, and that's always a good thing, especially if you have a creator especially if you have that, you know, creator who is going to be sitting there responsive to that and even incorporating that into their ideas. But
I should probably mention something else just in case.
What's up?
I love how Scott, he likes to this community likes to Ouroboros itself. Like, they'll make jokes about how Chica loves eating too much and stuff like that because let's eat pizza on her bib. And it actually ended up becoming her core personality and Security Breach. She'll dig through trash and eat it, and it's kind of like one of those things where the things that the like Steel Wool and Coffin made, the community will make jokes and memes about it, and they'll give attention to some things, and then Scott or them look at the community, and so they'll start putting more attention into those things, which is kind of tragic in terms of Monty, because Monty was largely ignored in a Security Breach, which left him to be like a little rabid animal in the ruin, which is why you see him kind of like acting like a crocodile or gator.
Well,
it's unfortunate he got just animaled.
Yeah. Well, Warpugs, we're going to take off from here. Thank you to Hazard for stopping by. And guys, all the Stupendium's links are going to be in the description below. Please go check him out. All of my links are going to be down there as well. Join the channel early as a Patreon or a member for early access. And check the merch store down below. I have somebody working on something right now And it should be out soon. Slap a grot. I'll catch you guys next time.